This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hey, what's up? It's Mario Lopez. Back to school is an exciting time, but it can also be overwhelming, and kids may feel isolated, a vulnerability that human traffickers can exploit. Human trafficking doesn't always look like what you expect. Everyday moments can become opportunities for someone with bad intentions. Whether you're a parent, teacher, coach, or neighbor, check in, ask questions, stay connected. Blue Campaign is a national awareness initiative that provides resources to help recognize suspected instances of human trafficking. Learn the signs and how to report at dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
Whatever team Thea is on has a chance to win a championship.
I'm Christina Williams, host of the podcast, In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams. The WNBA playoffs are here, and I've got the inside scoop on everything from key matchups and standout players to the behind-the-scenes moments you won't find anywhere else.
It's really, really hard to be the champions, but we have to remember how it feels and embrace the new challenge that we have.
So listen to In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams, an iHeart Women's Sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's go! Sky Yuma. Snap back, spot down. The kick is blocked. This could be 2 points if he goes all the way. He's to midfield. Nobody to beat. This will be 2 for Minnesota. Miller-Moss with a handoff and another big gain, and the ball popped loose, and it's still bubbling back there, and it is maybe picked up. Let's see who has it. Minnesota!
Welcome to Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck on the Gopher Sports Network from Learfield.
To the 10, to the 5, touchdown, pick 6.
Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck is presented by True North Family of Companies. Visit thetruenorthfamily.com. Also brought to you by Cub, the official grocer of Gopher Athletics. And by Tipsy Steer and High Pines, located at County Road C in Snelling. Proud sponsor of Gopher Football.
Here we go!
Now, here's the voice of the Gophers, Mike Grimm.
Hey, we're off and running. It's another edition of Gopher Football Weekly. We're at the Tipsy Steer and High Pines in Roseville, and a great crowd, as you can hear in the background. Mike Grimm along with Justin Gard, and we are ready to go. The players this week, it's a bye week. We'll review a little of the Cal football game. We'll preview what comes up and what happens on a bye week. We look ahead to Rutgers a week from Saturday. Justin Gard, our sideline guy, as always, is along, and we've got a full table up here, JG.
Yeah, I'm going to keep him mobile today.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep him mobile.
We don't need you falling off the edge of the right.
Yeah, no, that'd be bad. It'd be bad for everybody. So we'll keep the players protected. I'll be kind of over here just hanging out.
We started this last year. It's been kind of fun on the bye week. We let coach have the week off because especially early in the week, sometimes there's recruiting duties and whatever else. And we get a chance to go a little more in depth than maybe a 5 or 6 minute pregame interview can go with players. And we had fun last year. So a quick round of applause for Drake Lindsay, Gopher quarterback.
Thank y'all.
And Anthony Smith, Golden Gopher defensive end. So we have obviously the state of Minnesota represented, but we got Pennsylvania represented. We've got Arkansas represented here as well. So first of all, good to see you guys. You guys caught back to normal now after last week's the sleep schedule and your schedule turned upside down, getting back at about 7 in the morning after the game. Drake, you all set now?
Yeah, got home and went straight to bed till like 4 o'clock because didn't get any sleep on the plane. And then now trying to get back into my routine and restart my process.
Is there some value to, I think bye week physically it helps, but is there some value to just letting the mind reset and maybe spending a Monday or a Sunday napping or doing nothing, not worrying about a single thing?
Yeah, I think it's really good because I think we can dive back into the last couple of weeks and really learn, digest it and see what we can get better at. And we have 13 days until we play Rutgers, 12 days. So I think we can use that time to get ahead and get ready to go.
Anthony, did you spend some time napping on Sunday when you got back too?
Yeah, I definitely took some time to nap for sure.
and then rest and recuperate. You're in a position where there's violent collisions almost every time the ball is snapped. So is this a chance to let your body recover, even though it's early in the season? You've had some collisions, including some quarterback sacks, which you've been a part of as the team leader already.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important to get your body back for sure. That Sunday was really important for all of us just to get our resting because our schedule flipped like crazy, having to go to bed at like 12:30 at night, and then having to go to bed like this week. Now I'm going to bed like back again at like 9:30. So yeah, getting on your body is like the most important thing for this week.
So Drake, you mentioned you didn't sleep on the plane. Is that because you're not a good plane sleeper, or you thought, I need to watch this game again? I'm thinking about this game. Is it a combination of all of it?
Yeah, I usually can sleep on the plane. I feel like I was, it stung a little bit. There's a lot of things we could have done better, and I just rewatched the game on the iPad, see what I could have done better to help the team win, and really digest it and see what I can do to help.
Yeah, what do you think the lessons were from Saturday, or what do you hope you take from it moving forward?
Yeah, I think we were put in a lot of different positions that we practice, backed up coming out. We got to do a better job getting out of that area. We got to take advantage of every time we get the ball. We got to do a better job starting fast. I didn't think we started very fast, and that starts with me. Got to get the guys going, and I think it just starts there. You gotta bring the energy from the get-go. Can't wait to score until about a minute left in the second. So I got to be better there.
What do you think the lessons were, Anthony, or what do you take as you break that one down moving forward?
Yeah, I think Drake just explained it. Really, it's just starting fast. I got to take a better job of this game, the defense together, and just being excited coming out of the game. We all come out with fire, like, under our butts, but, we got to play complementary football at the end of the day. We got to help the deep offense out and not get them in a bad position when they punt the ball in the backed up. So, just starting fast is the best situation for us.
As you're going up against, in terms of the first three games, this was the top team. I think we can all say that, right, in terms of what you guys were facing. So did anything surprise you? Did it when you step up in class, so to speak, like in a boxing match, all of a sudden now you're up against a guy that can punch your own weight? Did anything surprise you, Drake, in your first start against, a team that's on the, a Power 4 style of team as you went out there, and your first road start for that matter?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say anything surprised me. I thought they moved pretty well in the back end. I thought their defensive backs were really good. I saw it on tape. Obviously you can tell the speed changes on film when you're watching the first two teams of the third, but once you get out there, it's just ball. So you just got to relax and be yourself. But I was surprised by their fans. I thought it was louder than I imagined. I didn't think it would be that loud, but they got going a little bit. But no, I don't think anything surprised me. We just gotta, like Ant said, I think we gotta play complementary football better, and just be better at that part.
Yeah, for those that some of you maybe were out there, for those that weren't, maybe watched on TV, hopefully listened on the radio. Guardsy, your first report was the place is about half full.
It's loud,
but it's loud in here, and I was surprised too. And the student section was pretty full, and that's right behind your guys' bench. It looked to me, this is just as an observer of the game, that the crowd noise didn't impact you. Like, you didn't look phased to me, but there probably is some subconscious part of it. Maybe take me through if that. I'm not going to say it rattled you, because it didn't look like it rattled you to me. I thought you were unfazed. But how does that play into, oh, geez, this is different than playing back home in starting at Huntington Bank Stadium?
Yeah, I think the communication just has to go way up. Because when you're changing a player, attempting to get the offense into the best look, you got to be aware of the play clock nonstop and make sure you have time to do it. But also, make sure everybody can hear you. So that's going up to right to left on third down to make sure everybody's getting the right check. So everybody's on the same page and we're all aligned. I think that's the biggest part of it. But no, I was pretty unfazed by it. You just got to go play, and we got to start fast is the main thing.
Anthony, take us through kind of the chess matchup. Early on, their quarterback's pretty comfortable. Then middle of the game, you guys were really getting after it. You could feel, I know PJ doesn't like momentum. He doesn't like to say it, but you guys could feel like you were starting to get to him a little bit. Then all of a sudden they make a little adjustment. They start to run the ball a little bit. You guys have to adjust to that. How did you kind of navigate all those different things with a pretty good QB?
It just goes down to execution at the end of the day. In the middle, what you said, that we started picking it up, and that we just started executing the right with things, So that's all it really comes down to is just execution. So again, in the first half, we just shot ourselves in the foot a little when we didn't execute the right way. So then he had time in the pocket. So that's really it. And then in the end of the game, when they started running the ball, we changed things up and we executed then too. So again, it just all falls down to execution.
In regard to, you guys are both kind of team leaders. The quarterback, just because of the nature of the position, becomes a leader. And I think PJ's talked about how you've taken that on since Max Brosmer left in late December. So starting back in January. So coming off of a game like that, we'll start with you, Drake, as a team leader on the offensive side especially, but generally as the team. Do you talk to guys? Do you pep them up? If things happen that you didn't maybe like, maybe take them to the side, or how do you lead coming off of what I guess in essence is the first loss of that you've had to experience here as the starter?
Yeah. I think it's just bringing everybody together, and we got to get back to the process. That's the number one thing. We got to get back to what we do Monday through Friday. Get better at that, because at the end of the day, that's what gets us to that game, is the Monday through Friday process, and gets us ready for that. But there's always people that you have to bring to the side, and I'm more of a confidence booster guy. I don't ever really want to bring somebody down after negative plays, and I can get a little stern here and there, but I think it's more bringing somebody up when things aren't going well. I don't want to destroy someone I have to rely on's confidence. I got to bring them up and be their brother. So I think that's something I always try to do.
And how about defensively then, Anthony, as you come off of as a team come off of a game like that, and maybe there's some guys looking, for some guidance and leadership from a guy like you who's been around the block.
Yeah, it comes down, you just got to swallow the pill. And, I just tell up everybody, we lost, and, we know what we need to do better. Like Drake said, we just need to hone on the details, the little things at the end of the day. And like Drake said, no, you don't got to destroy anybody's confidence. Everybody played the game. Everybody knows what happened. So, at the end of the day, we just need to build each other up and prepare for next week and just do a little detail things right. When we do a little details, we play really good. So that's what we keep on honing on, and that's what we plan to do.
I've seen you, Anthony, as a guy who, when someone is going through it, as the kids would say, you're a guy that's typically over there, like whether they're off to the side, hey, we got to come back over here, let's get back together. Whether they just made a mistake, you're the guy saying next play. Has that always been something in your DNA, or is that something that you've kind of had to develop as you got older?
I definitely had to develop that. There's a lot of.
Well, I feel like you used to be the guy we used to have to bring back. Is that fair?
No, that's super fair.
Yeah. So how'd you make that transformation?
I've had a lot of good teammates around me to definitely bring me back in. There's definitely been a lot of people. It's taken a village to get me to where I am today. So, all the people that came before me, all the D linemen, Coach Debo, they're always the guys that pull me together. Even the guys now, even Rashawn and J-Lo, Dev, even when they see me struggling, they're the guys that pick me right back up. Even Adam Kasai, I think that's why our D-line's so good this year, is just because we all eat off of each other, and we are, anybody's down, we're always picking each other back up. So I really respect our D-line room for that, and I really respect the guys that came before me.
What are you hoping to kind of impart in those moments? Is it kind of a case-by-case basis, depending on who it is?
Really all it is just confidence. Some guys, they just didn't make a play and they get really upset over that. You just got to tell them that, next play, it happened already. You did. So, now let's fix it and let's get better from that, and we can learn from the situation. So, again, this comes down to details and just instilling confidence in each other.
I think, Anthony, when you and I talked in our pregame interview for the Buffalo game, you had commented in that interview about how you've always been part of the teams have always been a connected team. I think that's a key phrase in terms of PJ's how he tries to build team. But you mentioned that you thought there was more crossover this year than any, where the offensive guys better and the offensive guys know the defensive guys. How do you think that came about, that you and Drake are more familiar with each other maybe than you had been with other offensive players in the past?
I feel like it's just intentionality. Your intentions to get to know somebody. I want to go get to know another wide receiver like Jalen Smith. I learned that his middle name's Anthony. That's I never knew that. That's so funny. So that's what I mean. So it just comes down to intentionality and just wanting to actually get to know people. So. And again, it's been real special, and it's definitely going to carry over. And even after the loss, we had everybody's still bringing each other together, and you have O linemen and D linemen coming together. Hey, we're going to fix this, and we're going to come together and do the right thing. So again, this just comes down to intentionality.
Yeah, and really by structure, it can be a cliquey situation because the position groups are meeting all the time. So, hey, the defensive ends are in this room, the quarterbacks are in this room, running backs all down the line. So as a quarterback, Drake Lindsay, how do you try to, once you leave those meeting rooms and hit the practice field, try to build that teamwork, that camaraderie, that connectedness?
Yeah, I think as a quarterback, your number one job is to unite and connect everybody. I try to be really spread out through the locker room, whether that's hanging out the DBs one day. I'm always usually spread around, and that's kind of how I like it. That's always how I was in high school. Not anything forced upon me. I just like being able to have a different people to talk to every day. Everybody's different, unique, and it's good to get to know everybody on our team.
Very good. We will take our first break. We'll find out how, with this good weather, if you've been able to get out on the golf course. Both you guys, I know, have taken up golf. We've got some good ones here. We'll see if Coy Parrish has yet beaten you. I know that at last count it was like 0 for 43 or something like that. And we'll get to know these guys a little bit better as the show rolls on. So stay with us here from the Tipsy Steer. We want to thank our sponsor, alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors. They should be part of your True North family of companies, and they should be on your team roster if you're selling a business. Get your no-cost, confidential business valuation today. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com. Stay with us. It's Gopher Football Weekly from Learfield.
Gopher football returns to Huntington Bank Stadium on Saturday, September 27th for a Maroon Out. Wear maroon and back the Gophers against Rutgers. Get your tickets now at gophersports.com.
Dear Rocky Roads, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma doesn't flinch. Rugged twists? Been there. Rutted turns? Done that. With tons of top tech and rock-solid resilience, Tacoma is tougher than any terrain. And when the dust settles, Tacoma's legendary resale value means confidence for the road ahead. Find your Tacoma at Toyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Know what the happiest bird is? Chicken. Cub fried chicken. Wait, let me rephrase that. Know what bird makes people happiest? Cub fried chicken. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, perfectly seasoned. It's the kind of chicken that disappears faster than you can say, 8-piece, please. Or, let's be real, maybe 12-piece. Because when it comes to fried chicken, more just means more happy. So if you're shopping chicken, shop Cub fried chicken and shop happy.
You can guarantee yourself a Minnesota maroon and gold win when you sell your business with Sunbelt Business Advisors. Sunbelt is a local alumni-owned company and proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics. Sunbelt provides business owner brokerage services to small businesses as well as mergers and acquisition services for companies up to $150 million in revenue. Are you thinking about selling? Sunbelt can help you make the most from your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com for a free confidential value range. Minnesota's largest seller of companies. sunbeltminnesota.com.
Gopher fans, check out the spot for Gopher Weekly with PJ Fleck. The Tipsy Steer in High Pines in Roseville is a great place to watch the games with a large outdoor space to eat, drink, and hang out with your friends. Check this place out. Locally owned refreshing beverages and food sourced from area farmers, serving on menu favorites like bacon lollipops and armadillo eggs. The sassy menu also features brick oven pizzas and acclaimed burgers. Tipsy Steer in High Pines in Roseville, County Road C and Snelling in Roseville, or online at tipsysteer.com. Go Gophers!
Visit the University of Minnesota Bookstore, your destination for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop for all things Gophers. And when you shop here, you're giving back because every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Stop by our campus location or shop anytime online at bookstores.umn.edu. Go Gophers!
The University of Minnesota is excited to celebrate the 13th annual Celebrate Ag and Food Day when the Gophers host Rutgers on September 27th. Both during the broadcast on the Gopher Radio Network and inside Huntington Bank Stadium, the University of Minnesota College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences and the Gophers are thrilled to celebrate the agriculture and food industries that have long been the backbone of our state. The Gophers would like to thank presenting sponsors CHS, Compeer Financial, Undeniably Dairy, and Banks for their continued support.
The human heart. It doesn't take days off, or hours, minutes, or seconds for that matter. It just keeps beating in steadfast, unrelenting service to each of us. So when your heart needs medical care, doesn't it deserve the most advanced treatments available, delivered by nationally recognized physicians and surgeons? Show your heart some love. Take it to mHealth Fairview. Visit mhealthfairview.org/heartcare to learn more.
Spring cleaning is as easy as buy, fill, gone with a Bagster bag from Waste Management. Clear the clutter and ditch your debris. Bagster bags are the flexible option for big cleanups, and we mean flexible. The Bagster folds neatly when not in use, yet holds 3,000 pounds of waste and debris. Buy from a retailer today, fill it, and easily schedule pickup when your projects are complete. To learn more, visit thebagster.com.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
Gopher football's Big Ten opener is a Maroon out. Wear maroon and roll with us against Rutgers on September 27th. Get your tickets now at gophersports.com.
It's time now for the AVR Remix on Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck. AVR, a McNamara company. Quality and service delivered.
It's a spin and a handoff to Davis, and he is in, but a flag flies at the goal line, and it will be encroachment is the signal here, and Minnesota will have a touchdown. Cam Davis.
Defense. That plays to five. Focal play. Touchdown.
The Gophers are in the end zone with their first touchdown of the game. Lindsey on a straight drop, no play action. Fires over the middle to Brockington. Caught at midfield. Spins out of one, spins out of two, inside the 45, and hauled in at the 43, make it the 42-yard line. Spinning, play action, waiting, lobbing, and steers, and he caught it! What a grab!
There it is, our AVR. There it is, our AVR remix. We want to thank AVR for their support of Gopher football. We heard the touchdown pass there to cap it off from Drake Lindsey to Jamison Gears. Walk us through that play, if you would, because J-Mo made a pretty darn good catch there at the high point of the pass.
Yeah, it was really cool. You know, we had a little play action dump. It was actually, the route was not really, it was supposed to look a little different, but they had 12 men on the field. So there was two people on J-Mo.
Wow.
So he had to run it a little different than we had practiced. When I came off the fake, when I came off the fake, I was a little surprised, but I saw one-on-one, and I just put it up there for him to go get it, and he made a heck of a catch.
Yeah, so I knew the penalty. I forgot that it was a legal substitution, so it was 12 guys. Is that a thing when you're looking over the defense, you can kind of say, hey, something's amiss here? Did you realize they had 12? Or sometimes it might be an extra lineman, and maybe you don't notice.
It's usually easier when it's like, you can see it when you're not like on the goal line.
Yeah, you
it's
got
kind of hard to see because you're just like, you're looking down. There's like eight D linemen down there usually, so it's kind of hard to see in that instance. But when you're on the field, and you're going up tempo, you try to catch them in that instance so you can get the free play. But no, I had no idea. I was hoping the flag wasn't on us.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Well, I think it was like both touchdowns, right? There was a flag on both touchdowns, and so both touchdowns end up you get the points out of it.
It ruins Grimm's touchdown calls when there's a flag.
I know,
because you got to wait. Like he should have these mythic calls, but he's got to wait until the official says it. And then touchdown Gophers, okay. That's not making the highlights.
That's the excuse we use if the highlight's not very good from the radio.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You were just telling me that your story. We've heard it a lot, so sometimes not everyone listens all the time. So maybe not everybody's familiar with it. We know you're from Arkansas. Your family has all these ties to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Your dad played there. Your grandpa, who was a Viking, Jim Lindsey, played for the Vikings, and we'll ask you about that a little more in detail. And you grew up in Fayetteville, and you had your sister played basketball there. All this stuff. You were telling me that when guys like Bobby Petrino and Brett Bielema and others were coaching there, you and your family would go to exactly this, like the Razorback Football Weekly with Brett Bielema, and you would sit up front, and they would bring two players every week, and young middle school Drake Lindsey would be like, oh my gosh. And now think about this, here he is a few years later, he's the guy up here everybody's looking at like a zoo animal. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. When they told me this the other day, I was super excited because I did always grow up going to these, so I think it's super, super cool to have the opportunity to do that. Because I always used to look up to the players, hoping to be that guy one day, and here we are, and super excited.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
We do it during lunch so no kids can come.
Yeah.
We need to rethink that. We're not.
We need to keep Grimm and Guards nights free. Noon is just perfect.
We got to regenerate the next generation. We never thought of that.
Well, what we should do is organize some school field trips out here.
Yeah.
Just, have a teacher bring their class out here.
Got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, we're full of ideas. We're always full of ideas, that's for sure. All we need is Daryl Thompson to offer some of his suggestions, and we're in real good shape now. So what's it like? Here you are. You got the big crowd, and you are on the other side of it as a kid thinking about, I'd like to be up there someday. Here you are now.
Yeah, I think it's a huge blessing. You never really know where your story's going to go, and I'm super fortunate to be in Minnesota and be a Gopher. Obviously, I never really thought I'd be a Gopher, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and wouldn't want to play for any other coach than Coach Fleck and my offense coordinator, Coach Harbaugh. They've changed me as a person and really helped me grow as in every aspect of my life. So I don't think any other program offers what we have to offer, and I'm super blessed to be here.
Anthony, tell us about what brought you to Minnesota.
Well, first, it was back in 2019 when we beat Penn State. That's the first time that I knew Minnesota had a football team. So that was
Drake. You kind of said the same thing, right? Yeah, 2019. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you grew up in a household that has all Penn State fans, and your whole community is all Penn State fans, and then all of a sudden you see Minnesota beats Penn State, and it's like, whoa, that Minnesota has a football team again. It was back in 2022. Yeah, back in 2019. Back in 2022, I started getting recruited by Coach Wilt. I think he's at Michigan State now, but we got really close, and then me and Coach Fleck got super close. It was probably 2 calls every single week of FaceTime, and he was just always checking up on me. And I really just felt the genuine love and affection from him. And then I took my first visit up here when I was 17 or so, and my hosts were Trey Potts and Brevin Spanford, and they were really great people to me, and they're still brothers to this day. I was just in Florida with Trey Potts, and then Brev was up here on the bye weekend. I just felt the genuine love that came along with the team, and just meeting all the people on the team, and it's every single day it's reciprocated every single day with all my teammates now and from then, because when they come back it's the same vibes as when they were here. It's just genuine and true love, and that's also one thing that I just want to pass on to the future of our generation of football players. It's this place is really real. What Drake was saying, we don't other programs don't offer this, and you hear it from the transfers. We provide a life program that will hold true for 40 years, beyond our lifetime. So again, I genuinely felt that when I was coming to Minnesota, and it's held true, and I'll wear the M for the rest of my life.
And from that standpoint, PJ often talks about the cultural sustainability. It always helps where you can stay in touch and guys come back if it's the same guy running the program. So now in year 9, that's the case, right? Guys are coming back. I mean, even there are some guys that ended up, due to different circumstances, transfer, but yet they still come back because they feel more connected here than the place they went to, right? Which is pretty cool. Give us an update on Trey Potts too. How is he doing?
Oh, he's doing really well. He's living out in Miami now. He's a real estate agent. He's doing really well for himself. So he probably texts me every single week for the game. And again, he's doing really good. He's doing really good for himself. One
of the cool parts about the scholarship program is that some of the donors and boosters that provide funds to do the scholarships. Trey, right here, she sponsored the Trey Potts, the running back. It was Shannon Brooks, and over the years, so she would always check with PJ about how Trey's doing. So it's kind of cool now that we've got an update on Trey. Real estate's his deal. Yeah, awesome. That's pretty cool. Well, let's do this. Let's take another quick break, and then we'll have the second half of the show coming up here in the restaurant. We've got our University of Minnesota bookstore sign up here. What did we decide, Guards? Because we were on campus last week, so no show in the restaurant, so we didn't give a card away. So I have 2 cards. Are we doing $2 $25
I think
winners?
We draw 2.
$2.25.
Yeah.
Well, it's $2.25 or $1.50. What do people want to do? 2. Everyone wants a better chance.
Yeah.
All right.
You want 1 Powerball or 2? You want 2?
2. All right. So we'll give away 2. Make sure you put your name in the hopper. Last commercial break, we'll draw. Each of these guys will draw a winning ticket, and each of the winners will get the $25 gift card. You too can visit the University of Minnesota bookstore. It has the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop. And every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Shop in-store or online. You can go to bookstores.umn.edu. This is Gopher Football Weekly from Learfield.
Hey, what's up? It's Mario Lopez. Back to school is an exciting time, but it can also be overwhelming, and kids may feel isolated, a vulnerability that human traffickers can exploit. Human trafficking doesn't always look like what you expect. Everyday moments can become opportunities for someone with bad intentions. Whether you're a parent, teacher, coach, or neighbor, check in. Ask questions. Stay connected. Blue Campaign is a national awareness initiative that provides resources to help recognize suspected instances of human trafficking. Learn the signs and how to report at dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
Would you guys consider anything less than a championship to be a failure from this year?
I wouldn't say anything is a failure, especially because we all grow every day. Obviously, the goal is a championship. There's no doubt in that, and that's the goal. We want to win a championship.
I'm Christina Williams, host of the podcast, In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams. The WNBA playoffs are here, and I've got the inside scoop on everything from key matchups and standout players to the behind-the-scenes moments you won't find anywhere else.
It's really, really hard to be the champions, but we have to remember how it feels and embrace the new challenge that we have.
For all the biggest stories in women's basketball, plus exclusive interviews with the game's brightest stars.
So to be here, I think it's one that we definitely don't take for granted. But we also know, that's just one stop along the way, and we're hoping to, make a run.
So listen to In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams, an iHeart Women's Sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. It's more Gopher Football Weekly. It's a bye week, so no head coach this week. We have a couple of players, quarterback Drake Lindsay, defensive end Anthony Smith. It's a bye week, and then a week from Saturday, it's Minnesota and Rutgers. So Gopher fans, you can get your Chick-fil-A app ready, because during that week and that game, Gopher football, one lucky fan will attempt a field goal during one of the breaks during the game, the Kickin' for Chicken Challenge. Regardless of the kick, all Gopher fans will win. You can open your Chick-fil-A app the Monday after that Rutgers game to redeem your free item. Basically, if he makes the kick, or he or she, the hero of the week makes the kick, you get a free sandwich, and if they miss, you get free waffle fries. So pretty good deal either way. Twin Cities and St. Cloud Chick-fil-A's. It'll be the Monday after the Rutgers game. Drake, you were just telling me during the break that you want to play. You don't coming off of them. Maybe if you get the win, the week off is great, but you're ready to go. You don't want to sit in a loss. You want to get right back on the field now, and this week's dragging out already for you.
Yeah. After losing, it stings a little bit. Also, I haven't done a great job with the loss, because I haven't lost in a long time, since like my junior year. So right. I'm getting over it now, though. It's been a while, so it doesn't feel very good, but you got to learn from it. And there's a lot of things to learn from it. I think it's a positive thing at the end of the day, because we all got to clean a lot of stuff up, and it's good for it to happen now rather than later in the season, because now we can really get on it and get all the negatives out of the way and really grow from it.
Yeah, I think J.J. McCarthy just lost for the 5th time since high school. It's like 63-5. So you kind of have a similar track. So like in the fourth quarter, you're just thinking we're not going to lose, right? Because it doesn't happen. Yeah. So when it happens, like how tough is it to be like, oh, this can happen? Yeah, this can happen if we don't do the things we need to do.
Yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's football, and I think in this day and age, you can lose and win on any given Saturday, especially with how college football has changed. So I think you just got to go into the game and attack it from the get-go, and I think we'll do a better job of that. And now we've really learned from it, because we didn't do that in the first half. So now we got to grow from that. And yeah, it definitely doesn't feel good when you lose, but going to that fourth quarter, I definitely thought we were going to win, and you got to have that mindset.
Anthony, your head coach after the game talked about kind of casualness in his post game. What does he mean by that, and how did he relay that to you guys to get it fixed for the next game?
We speak in our program, we say casually creates casualties, and so just being casual with everything that you do, that's going to catch up to you. It catches up to you, and it catches up to you. So, if you're going through your process and you're just doing something a little more lazy than like you should be doing it, like it's gonna be a problem at the end of the day. It's gonna catch up to you. So, we're talking about this week, this honing in on the little details and not being casual and just going through every single little thing that we can really just do right. So again, like I said, just casual carries casualties, and that's what he harps on. Was it surprising to you that was kind of what he said after, or that it happened that way, given we talked a lot about your preparation practices for people that are there? There's no casualness in the practices, right? I mean, it's crazy. So was it surprising that kind of crept up on Saturday? Yeah, it was a little surprising, but things happen. Our goal is to fight human nature, and we're, human nature is to be casual and take things a little slower than like we should. And so we started off a little slow, and that's human nature, and we're fighting that every single day. So, again, it's not being casual and just starting the game off as fast as possible and not creating casualties, and ended up in the situations where you're in the fourth quarter where we're at the end of the game, we know that we're going to win, then things happen. We end up losing the game off of some casual stuff.
Speaking of not having a lot of failure, and you hadn't lost in a while. I think of a guy like Coy Parrish, who hasn't had a rough night probably in his life, right? And there were a couple of plays that kind of stand out, and probably for the first time in his entire playing career, he's there's people in the public saying, what was he doing? How can this happen? You both are good buddies with him. Do you sit and talk with him? Because that's I think he was probably just like everybody trying to make something happen, right? I mean, needed a spark. He was a tip ball. I don't know, Anthony, did you tip the ball that he was going to return for a pick six? Somebody got a hand on it. He was in line for a pick six, and then 2 plays later was the little punt situation. I'm sure he's thinking, I'm a play away from, maybe winning the game.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to pick up a punt, and it's a mistake. So do you talk to him? Do you just know it's going to not happen? How do you handle a situation like that for a guy who doesn't have a lot of things go wrong?
Yeah. I think it's really good for him at the end of the day because he hasn't had a lot of things go wrong. So, when you're in that state, sometimes you think it's never going to happen to you, no matter who you are. And I think it's really, really good for him because he's going to grow a lot from it. And, we had some good conversations after. And I think Coy is just trying to make plays. He's a playmaker, and that's what he does. And I had a really good conversation with him about it because, I feel like I'm a playmaker too. And on my interception, I was trying to do something that was out of my doing something too much, something that's not there. You're trying to make a play, and at the end of the day, you can't try to make plays. They're going to come naturally. You just got to go do it, and when it presents itself as the opportunity. And that's kind of the talk I had with him, and he was on the same page as me, and he's going to bounce back and have a great rest of the year.
And now that leads us into a segue about you guys. You guys have kind of created this bond, and obviously he's now playing some offense. So it's not really an offense and defense guy, Bonnie, but he's an offense guy too. And obviously we know special teams. But you guys, I think it was at Big Ten Media Days. Somehow somebody tabulated up. You guys had played 43 rounds of golf together in the summer. And we know most people know, if they haven't heard, Drake is a really good golfer. He won some national titles as a junior golfer. And if you shoot over, what's your point at which you get mad if you go over?
Usually over 80 is
no good. Yeah,
Anthony's disgusted by that. For those that can't see, that aren't here, full head shake from Anthony. Just pure disgust.
So at least in Vegas, it was 43 wins Drake Lindsay, 0 wins for Coy Parrish on the golf course. But Coy was insisting that he was catching up quick because he'd only been playing for like a year or a year and a half, and you had been playing, since you could hold a golf club.
Yeah.
So how have you guys played lately? Are you able to? And during the bye week, it's nice day to day. Can you get out and catch 18 holes?
Yeah, I haven't played since we played in Vegas. That was the last time we played. We were actually tied through 8 holes, and then I kind of started playing the mind games with him. I was like, "Coy, we're tied right now," and he's like, "Oh, we are." Next thing you know, he goes double, bogey. I went like birdie, eagle, and I was like 4 under through the next 3, and I was like, I'm up 10 holes now, or 10 strokes now. So it keeps it pretty close. But once I started telling him the score, he starts thinking about it a little bit. So we'll try to get out here soon. But I think we're pretty locked in.
You're locked into
trying to win some games.
So if you pipe one right down the middle on your drive, what's the like if it's a straight shot? What's the ideal? What's your max distance?
I don't know. I think I probably carry it like 315 or 320. And in Vegas, it was like. It was downwind. There was one I almost like it was really far. It was traveling. We were all hitting the ball pretty far in Vegas though because there was like no humidity. It was moving, but usually like 315 I would say.
Wow, nice, very good. And Anthony,
some guys have it all, don't they? Anthony?
Yeah.
Quarterback,
all goes
golfer,
every single time. By the way, there's not a time where it doesn't go straight for Drake. It's so crazy.
Right down the middle. Anthony, did you grow up golfing, or have you, like Coy, picked it up recently?
The house I lived in high school, my godparents, they golfed all the time. So I guess like in junior year, I really got into it during COVID. So that's why I got into it. But even Coy's so much better than me. It doesn't make any sense. Both of them, like, they'll drive the ball for like 315, and I'm still trying to get it off the tee box and make it go 200 yards with my driver. And so, yeah.
Drake has talked about how the golf game has helped him. Max last year talked about chess, that helped him get mentally sharp, and that golf for you is a little like football, and then each play, each shot is different. If you hit it out of bounds, you got to flush it and make the next play. Does golf help you a little bit in any way at all for football?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, again, like, you hit a bad shot, you got to flush it and get on to the next one. You got to hole out. So I think it definitely does something with, like, is like controlling yourself and always being calm because, you know, I mean, you can have one great shot and then the next shot you don't even hit the ball.
Yeah.
The ball goes 2 yards. So again, just being able to.
Drake's confused. He's not familiar with that. Yeah. You've lost Drake.
He did that when he was 2 years old. Cool. Yeah. He did
You've
that
completely lost Drake. But snowboarding's one of your deals, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does that happen?
I just, when I was younger, I would go like snow tubing. I would always see people snowboarding up on the mountains, and I just, my grandfather got me a plastic snowboard, and that's where I like picked it up. And then next Christmas, they gave me like an actual snowboard, and they just let me go at it. And ever since, I always got really good at it, and I just kept on progressing. You know, I've definitely like stopped doing like the flips and like 360s and stuff.
Probably smart.
Yeah, I thought so too. So, but you know, that's just something to take my mind away from football, especially in the off season when we're doing so much of the workouts. You know, I'm always in the film room just trying to see what I'm doing better. So, you know, it's just a good weekend thing to get my mind away from football.
So how old were you when you started then?
I think I was 8.
So what's like the best trick that you could do before you had to kind of shut it down for self-preservation?
It was called a rodeo flip, and like it's where you do a 360 and a backflip at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
360 and a backflip. Okay. Wow.
I was also like 5'5". I was like, I do that now. I don't think I can do that now.
You probably don't have that trick. Well, that's like guards you out at Buck Hill. You're doing that every week. Yeah, only 1 360. That's a shame. Can you incorporate that into some type of sack celebration?
I could figure something out. Yeah, I could figure something out. Yeah.
That'd be outstanding. Do you? And as you mentioned, you obviously you don't want to get into. I could just imagine that conversation. Yeah, Coach, sorry, I'm out for the year. I just trying to do a 360 and crack my shoulder or something.
Yeah.
So you back down a little on the tricks, but you still get on the hills and do so. Is there places around here you go, or are you mostly back home?
No, yeah, I've definitely. There's Buck Hill and then Trollhagen out in Wisconsin. You know, I make a little weekend trip down there to see my buddies. I got a few guys that they snowboard professionally, and that's like the place that they go. So just hanging out with them for the weekend.
Yeah,
that's where I go.
You got some guys on the team now coming along too. Anybody interested? Coy, he does 2 rodeos and got out there, did it fast, then threw the snowboard and said, "I'm done." Yeah.
Not anybody in the recent past 2 years, but yeah, there's definitely been guys my freshman year that I've gone out with for sure.
Very good. All right, let's do one more break and we'll have our next segment. By the way, the football game for Rutgers that was set for an 11 a.m. kick, so Guardsy and I will take air at 9 a.m. That's a week from Saturday. Tickets available at gophersports.com, and don't miss out on the Gopher Garden prior to that game. That's the pregame Fan Fest. It's presented by Huntington Bank, located on Oak Street outside the stadium. Gopher Garden opens 3 hours before every home game, and as mentioned, you can catch the pregame radio show, the Pride of Minnesota marching band there, experience all the excitement leading up to kickoff. Stay with us. It's Gopher Football Weekly from Learfield.
Dear Rocky Roads, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma doesn't flinch. Rugged twists? Been there. Rutted turns? Done that. With tons of top tech and rock-solid resilience, Tacoma is tougher than any terrain. And when the dust settles, Tacoma's legendary resale value means confidence for the road ahead. Find your Tacoma at Toyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
The University of Minnesota is excited to celebrate the 13th annual Celebrate Ag and Food Day when the Gophers host Rutgers on September 27th. During the day, the University of Minnesota College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences and the Gophers will celebrate tireless efforts in the agriculture industry. The Gophers would like to thank the following participating sponsors: Ag Country Farm Credit, Minnesota Biofuels Association, Minnesota Corn Growers Association, Minnesota Pork Board, and the University of Minnesota's College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences for their continued support.
Gopher fans, when you want to get around Gold Country safely, securely, and on time, call Carey Minneapolis St. Paul. Carey Limousines, a global leader in business travel, offering a world-class fleet and reservation staff who make sure you arrive on time, every time. The team's available 24/7, so give them a call whenever you're ready to travel. 612-623-0565 or visit the webpage, CareyMPLS.com. And go Gophers!
Are you looking for concert or sports tickets? As a local Minnesota company, Ticket King is a company you can trust. They have seats to fit every budget and even offer parking or tailgating passes, and all tickets are guaranteed. Each order is personally attended to by one of our dedicated customer service representatives who are committed to providing you with a courteous, professional, quick, convenient experience. Visit us at TicketKingOnline.com or call us directly at 612-341-4131.
Hey, what's up? It's Mario Lopez. Back to school is an exciting time, but it can also be overwhelming, and kids may feel isolated, a vulnerability that human traffickers can exploit. Human trafficking doesn't always look like what you expect. Everyday moments can become opportunities for someone with bad intentions. Whether you're a parent, teacher, coach, or neighbor, check in, ask questions, stay connected. Blue Campaign is a national awareness initiative that provides resources to help recognize suspected instances of human trafficking. Learn the signs and how to report at dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
Would you guys consider anything less than a championship to be a failure from this year?
I wouldn't say anything is a failure, especially because we all grow every day. Obviously, the goal is a championship. There's no doubt in that, and that's the goal. We want to win a championship.
I'm Christina Williams, host of the podcast, In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams. The WNBA playoffs are here, and I've got the inside scoop on everything from key matchups and standout players to the behind-the-scenes moments you won't find anywhere else.
It's really, really hard to be the champions, but we have to remember how it feels and embrace the new challenge that we have.
For all the biggest stories in women's basketball, plus exclusive interviews with the game's brightest stars.
So to be here, I think it's one that we definitely don't take for granted. But we also know, that's just one stop along the way, and we're hoping to, make a run.
So listen to In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams, an iHeart Women's sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And boom! Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. Yes, a daring approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello? Rosa, you don't know nothing.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. When you run two chairs into your zone and stuff, the Viking defense looks like it's chairs.
We'll head to Buffalo, play on the road. I think the weather, of course, having spent a lot of time in Minnesota, I understand the weather pattern. Pick out the Calcutta Clipper, swings down, swings up, lakefront influence, and out. I think we'll probably have about 45-degree weather, so it will not be a typical October 31st in Buffalo.
Playoffs? Did he mean playoffs? What are you talking about, playoffs? Did he mean playoffs?
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those ratings.
I'm going to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
That was probably Zimmer being Zimmer.
Stand up, Ford Field! Stand up!
Super Bowl homeboy.
say?
I just want to say, you doubted us, but now we're here.
Mark, they can pitch. They can hit. What is with, I mean, come on.
What am I? What am I? What am I?
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
You know, back in my radio disc jockey days when I used to spin hot stacks of wax from the top of the racks, if a song... Well, Denny Green once said it about one of his songs. I don't know if you remember this, but when Denny Green was a jazz drummer, the late Denny Green, he was a jazz drummer as well as a football coach. And he put out, when he first got to town, he put together... I have the cassette somewhere. That's how long ago it was. They were still doing cassettes. I have the cassette somewhere with a number of his songs. I think it was 4 songs. And one of them was called Moonlight. And he says, he intros it. There's audio intro where he goes, wait till you hear Moonlight. Talk about number one with a bullet. And then they go into Moonlight, right? And it's a nice song. And then he does a real nice job. But that's radio lingo for number one with a bullet, right? I mean, it's like a number one, top of the heap. Start spreading the news. And so I'm not number one with a bullet, but let's say I'm number 2 with a bullet. And you're with me. I shouldn't say me. We've been together. No one would know. It's been 20 years. Only you and I knew.
Yeah.
No one else paid attention.
Not even an email.
Nope. Nothing from we have all sorts of coroners. We have a lot of those. We probably have more people with a title than we do actually employees. But nothing from my good friend Donnie Lonnquist, my close personal friend Donnie. He's number 1 on the list, and then nothing from Swedberger Abbott.
No.
Nothing from Emily, who generally never forgets those things. Now that, hey, congratulations on 20 years.
Maybe just like coworkers.
Yeah, even a coworker. Hey, 20 years together. That's real nice. Not a peep. And of course, when the Power Trip celebrated their 20 years, well, it was like 6 months buildup, and then they had trips to Vegas and parties and
live broadcast.
Yeah, it was so much fun with the Power Trip morning
Big,
show.
huge giveaways.
Yeah. But let's just, I think we have a message for the Power Trip morning show.
Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
And let's say it's close. Just say it's really, really close. Tanami, today I have, are you familiar with this, speaking of number 1 with a bullet, I bet this song went to number 1. You're familiar with a band called the Eagles?
I am.
The Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. And they did Freebird. They did Whole Lot of Love. And they did Foreplay/Long Time. And they also had a song called Peaceful Easy Feeling.
Yeah.
And 2 days removed, I would call it a restless, uneasy feeling. And I'm not talking about the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. I'm talking about the Minnesota Wild and Kaprizov. What's new on that front? Do we know? Do we have any indication?
I don't know if anything is new.
Okay.
Other than we know that Kirill and his side turned down the 8-year, $16 million a year, would have been a total of $128 million deal. Sounds like they have not countered. Now, just from reports, right? It's possible have countered and it just hasn't been reported yet, but I'm just going off of reports.
Okay.
There have been no reports of a counter. There has been some rumor speculation from trades, but I don't think that's been any actual reports. And actually, I saw today from a respected NHL reporter in Pierre LeBrun that there have not been any, like the Minnesota Wild, they're not discussing trade with anyone at this time. And so that all leads me to believe that.
Is this called speculation?
Yeah, this is just strictly my opinion. This is just me trying to read the tea leaves, right? Because the thought is with the Minnesota Wild that Kirill Kaprizov might not want to be here, that he wants to go win, right? To me, if that is the case, if he just flat out doesn't want to be here, then it makes sense for both sides to trade him before the season begins, right? Kirill doesn't want to go through another season one, when you're on a team that you don't even necessarily want to play for anyway, right? And you're going to have fans turning against you. And you are risking injury, right? You're going another year while risking injury. Plus, for Kirill, if he wanted to go somewhere else, it's still beneficial for him to sign a contract before he gets to free agency next year. Because once he gets to free agency, he can only sign a 7-year deal. Now he could sign an 8-year deal. So it makes sense to do a sign and trade to where you want to go. Because that would be how he maximizes the amount of money he would make. So from Kirill's standpoint, if he doesn't want to be here, if that's the rumor, then he should be trying to, behind the scenes, orchestrate a trade as we speak. From a Minnesota Wild standpoint, if Kirill doesn't want to be here, you don't want to risk having him go the entire season and just lose him for nothing. So, and you don't want to risk playing him for a month, unsigned to an extension, and then he gets hurt, and now you've lost your trade value. So if he doesn't want to be here, it makes sense that you got to trade him before the season starts. And it sounds like there have been no reports of potential trade. So what I think is happening here is, I think, there's dominoes that fall, right?
Oh, domino.
You should do an open for a show with that song.
Yeah, I like that. Probably that was brilliant.
I think this is all because there are other players that are in the same shoes as Kirill Kaprizov right now. Connor McDavid
is overrated.
Like, he's the top dog.
Yeah.
He is going to make the most amount of money. I think what's happening here, and this is just me trying to read the tea leaves, I think Kaprizov's camp, because they didn't counter the Wild. The Wild offered him what would be right now the most money ever given away to a player in NHL history, and they turned it down. I think what they're waiting for is McDavid to sign, because McDavid's in the same boat where he can be a free agent next year.
Okay.
I think they're waiting for McDavid to reset the market, and he might make a lot more than we think he's going to make, right? Like, he might get up to $20 million a year. And now on Kaprizov's side, they go, that 16 is not as much as we should be getting now.
Sure.
Now that McDavid has reset the market, we should be getting more. So that is just kind of my feeling right now is they are waiting out McDavid whenever, and this might lead up right up to the regular season, and that a contract will happen before the season begins, but it still might be some time because they're going to wait for McDavid to drop first.
I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
I think there's going to be both players are going to do a sign and trade. We're going to end up with McDavid, and Edmonton's going to end up with Kaprizov. Could you do that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else is in the trade, but certainly had 1-for-1. Yes.
Now, you know what knowing you as well as I do, we've been working together close circuit to the coroner's office. 20 years we've been together. Knowing you like I do. You didn't get this from Russo or Lieber like Rosen would have. You're doing this on your own. You're speculating on your own.
My own speculation. And it could be way off.
Yes.
Because I don't have inside reporting here.
That makes some sense. That certainly does make sense. Because we've seen it in the wide receivers in the National Football League, right? Where once one guy signs and the next guy signs and the next guy signs and here's a guy signing here. Old Sam Darnold had it. And so one guy always signs for a little bit more than the last guy. Yeah. And so while he propped Kaprizov, I don't think he'll get more.
He's not going to get more than McDavid.
But still, he can, like you say, if it's 20, he can go, you got to push me to 18 and get more money out of it. That could very well be exactly what's happening here.
Because like I said, if he didn't want to be here, that should have already been established now, right? I mean, these negotiations started months ago. And if you knew he didn't want to be here, you would have started having trade talks because that's not a guy you lose for nothing. We already did that once with Marian Gaborik.
Correct.
And I think they're just trying to squeeze every little bit of juice out of that lemon.
I love it. I love your speculation. And we are the kings of speculation. Speculation. We've been speculating for years. As we go to break, you sent me an interesting Viking nugget that I just find.
That's interesting.
You roll your eyes, shrug your shoulders, shake your head. And I do have a little bit of a consternation. Consternation. By the way, could you look up the word consternation? We'll have the definition after the break to make sure I'm using it properly. You know how when you have certain anniversaries, there are certain gifts made of a certain substance, right? You know how that works, like if it's your 10th anniversary or 15th. For a 20th anniversary, the traditional gift is China. In a just world, if the coroner's office cared, you and I would be broadcasting from Beijing right now. Fast-paced, action-packed, and controversial. It's what we are. It's what we'll always be. Common Man program. Right here, right there.
Hey, what's up? It's Mario Lopez. Back to school is an exciting time, but it can also be overwhelming, and kids may feel isolated. A vulnerability that human traffickers can exploit. Human trafficking doesn't always look like what you expect. Everyday moments can become opportunities for someone with bad intentions. Whether you're a parent, teacher, coach, or neighbor, check in, ask questions, stay connected. Blue Campaign is a national awareness initiative that provides resources to help recognize suspected instances of human trafficking. Learn the signs and how to report at dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
Come on. Why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com. Lenovo. Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
Whatever team Fee is on has a chance to win a championship.
I'm Christina Williams, host of the podcast, In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams. The WNBA playoffs are here, and I've got the inside scoop on everything from key matchups and standout players to the behind-the-scenes moments you won't find anywhere else.
It's really, really hard to be the champions, but we have to remember how it feels and embrace the new challenge that we have.
So listen to In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams, an iHeart Women's sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.